Alexa, you went and played For Honor.
I did. I played a lot of For Honor, like 2 hours, a little over 2 hours.
That's good. That's more than Lucy and Timur did, who they have put up an impressions piece, which you can check out on YouTube and GameSpot as well. But you were there with the development team as well, talking to them. So I kind of want to talk to you about that. Jason Vandenberg, I guess the lead on this project. Interesting story about how he came up with this.
Oh my gosh, he's one of the more interesting game developers I've ever met. He was explaining to me that his wife bought him a 1-year membership to a German longsword.
Wow.
Dojo, basically.
That's a big commitment, 1 year.
Yeah, with the ARMA, which is the Association for Renaissance Martial Arts in North America.
Okay.
So he was literally, as he explained it, walking home one day thinking and he's been a game designer for a long time. He's been at Ubisoft for 8-9 years, I think. And he was thinking what if I mapped, how would this stroke look like on a right analog stick? Or how would this stroke look? How would that be? And he literally built the game thinking about how would I map this to a controller, and then it came into a game. Or became a game, and then he pitched it for 13 years, and finally Ubisoft Montreal said yes, and now we're getting For Honor.
That's incredible. So presumably that's why we're in this scenario where you have combatants who wouldn't necessarily be fighting each other in any sort of real world scenario, but I guess they all have their own different fighting style, right?
They do, yeah. It's definitely a game for weapon nerds and fighting nerds. When you think of a game like Dark Souls, where you're oh, I want the power fantasy of wielding these giant weapons, this power fantasy is a little closer to the fantasy you could get from doing it in real life.
Yeah.
But they have 12 characters, and every single one has a different weapon set and a different animations and a different style of play, which is absolutely incredible.
How does it feel to play? Because when I look at it, and I was listening to Timur and Lucy talk about it as well, is that it feels like there's something clunky and difficult about wielding a sword in the first place. How does the game sort of deal with that? Because melee combat's always been something games have struggled with.
Well, it does a really good job of giving you the tools to back up if you need to. You can cancel a heavy attack halfway through. Something that I figured out how to do, and the opposing team kept falling for it. I would go into my heavy attack, and they would go to block, because there's the triangle block system where you can block or parry or hit on the top and the two sides. So I'd go to the left with my heavy, and it would give them, I'd telegraph my move, and it would give them time to block.
Perfect.
But then I would cancel and then do a light attack, and I'd flip to the right side and get them.
That's excellent.
It does a really good job of giving you the tools to do that. Depending on what kind of fighter you are, also you could be a big heavy person with very little defense, or you could be a small quick person who maybe doesn't, or character who doesn't do a lot of damage but moves much quickly than your opponent. So what it sort of does is it encourages you when you're on a team to choose together who will be what, and then let each other play to your strengths and depend on each other.
Let's talk about that team play as well, and what it feels like to fight in these big groups, because another thing that seemed to stand out from the gameplay was that, if you sort of need to maybe pal up with somebody, 2-on-1 in a situation is going to be very advantageous. What does it feel like working with other people, and what does it feel like working as a team in that war scenario?
So the developer told us, one of the producers was guiding us through, and he said, best piece of advice, no matter what you do, if you are fighting someone and a second from the other team and a second person comes up, don't try to take them on alone. Get out of there, because every time you die, the other team gets more points and they get more capture points. So they encourage you to not try and bite off more than you can chew. And I was sitting in a row with 4 other people, a team of 4, and I was expecting it to be like I've played online games before, and it's sort of in Battlefront, it's oh guys, Palpatine is in this room, you should come here, and everyone's really tame. It's really, really calm. We were guys, I'm over here. I'm going to A. No, there's a guy behind me. I'm running away. I need help. People were talking, and whenever we would respawn, it would be okay, who needs help? Who's doubling up? And someone would be there's 2 bad guys in B. I need backup here.
Right.
And we would literally, we were constantly talking, and no one tried to be the hero. No one tried to be the guy that goes in and get all the kills.
Yeah.
It was actually we fell into a very nice pattern of helping each other, because you're not just... For Honor does a really good job of letting you know that this isn't about you. This is about you as a team.
Right.
You live and die together, and so much is riding on how you work with each other and how you capture. And it was very, very exhilarating and very tense. There's a feature where if you get a certain number of points, it locks the other team from respawning.
Right.
So you have to kill all 4 of them, but you have to kill all 4 of them before they capture any of the other capture points.
That's cool. So it's a rallying sort of at the end of the battle.
And you all have to band together and be okay, we gotta knock them down. So they'll send 2 to one guy and 2 to another guy, maybe leave one place vulnerable just to get someone out, and it's very tense. Like my palms are very sweaty by the end of that match.
Yeah, we could sit here and talk about this all day, but
yeah.
thankfully you've written a massive preview, which is available on GameSpot.com. So if you want to learn more about For Honor, the game that is coming out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on February 14th, as Lucy said, just in times for Valentine's Day next year. If you want to learn more about that, please go to GameSpot.com.